the Citizens Coalition for Change, that is Nelson Chamisa, was reportedly assaulted in Bulawayo with his security aid by suspected ZANU PF thugs. Anyway, which one is the party of violence as well as also disorder? It can be none other than ZANU PF. And I wonder why then assault someone who doesn't, who is not into politics. As far as I'm concerned, it is because fears Nelson Chamisa beyond any reasonable doubt. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So former Citizens Coalition for Change leader Nelson Chamisa and a small group of his supporters were attacked by suspected ZANU PF youths at a lodge in Bulawayo on Sunday. Chamisa, who has been publicly teasing a new political party, was meeting with a select group of loyalists at a lodge in the city when a band of thugs, reportedly traveling in a Honda Fit and wearing work suits, stormed the location armed with machetes, axes, shamboks, and other crude weapons. A source briefed on the incident described scenes of panic as the brutes attacked the attendees and their vehicles, including Chamisa and others hid around the lodge. A Range Rover belonging to Patrick Cheza was badly damaged. I heard Chamisa's trousers were torn, the sources said. Cheza was the losing candidate for CCC in Chiruman's constituency in the August 2023 elections and is now seen as a member of Chamisa's inner cycle. Cheza had not answered questions sent to him and calls were not returned. Amos Chibaya, one of Chamisa's trusted lieutenant, confirmed he was in Bulawayo on the day but insisted, "I was never at the mentioned lodge and I was never attacked. The rest is ZANU PF propaganda." The 48-year-old Chamisa, who quit the CCC in January 2024, claiming infiltration, was in Bulawayo to attend a memorial service for the late Ward 2 Councillor Joyce Ndlovu at the amphitheater. It went ahead without him, with a small crowd in attendance. Some of his loyalists are disturbed. Chamisa ordered secrecy over the incident. A source told the publication that I'm reading. It's confusing why he would order everyone who was there to keep the incident to themselves. This was a select group of people and many are keen to prove their loyalty, so they won't say a thing. But as the fact that the venue and the time of the meeting leaked, not problematic in itself. Someone leaked, the source said, asking not to be named. Chamisa announced plans for his new political movement on January 2023 this year, setting 180 days for its formalization. Saturday was day 176. The ZANU PF government is in panic mode and has been cracking down on dissent amid widespread opposition to recently passed constitutional amendments to extend President Emerson Mnangagwa's term and scrap direct presidential elections in favor of a vote by parliament. Online opposition activists have threatened to stage protests against law on July 31, which might explain the attack on Chamisa, who still commands a large public. So I'm wondering why then Chamisa will order this matter not to be publicized to his lieutenants. Also, I saw something yesterday, last night, also I think pertaining to the same story, but I didn't pay much attention. I thought maybe this was an attack on the men. I really saw a story. I'm trying to go to that particular a story of Nelson Chamisa about what exactly transpired in Bulawayo. There are different explanations to this, but if you hear a story being told by sources from ZANU PF, definitely that story somewhere somehow it has distortions. I saw something about Nelson Chamisa. I'm trying to actually go into that story yesterday, where someone was saying it was factions of the Nelson Chamisa camp. I doubt it can be factions of alleging that there was a faction of Chibaya, as well as also the faction of yes, it's this guy called Derek Goto. He says a meeting at Lalan Lodge in Bulawayo held ahead of the memorial service for the late Ward 2 councillor Joyce Ndlovu has laid bare the rot at the heart of Nelson Chamisa's political project. Chamisa arrived to anchor the gathering alongside his ally Amos Chibaya. Gift Ostalos Siziba, who commands a formidable and fiercely loyal base across Bulawayo province, did not attend, an absence that speaks for itself. Outside the venue, supporters aligned to Chibaya and Siziba clashed violently, each camp fighting for regional dominance in a party structure that does not yet formally exist. Police were forced to intervene, and at least one opposition member was arrested. This is not an isolated incident. The Chibaya-Siziba rivalry has simmered since last year's funeral, where both men openly jostled for the spotlight. That today's tensions boiled over into a brawl before the outfit has even been launched confirms that many already suspected this is a project built on personal ambition, not shared purpose. Chamisa cannot manage two lieutenants in one lodge. Zimbabweans are left to judge what that says about his capacity to manage anything. Someone says, so let me just check something on whether Ostalo Siziba said something about this. Okay, and then Gift Ostalo Siziba posted something about 47 minutes ago where he says, please leave my name out of your shameless fabrication. I was not at Lalan Lodge, nor was I part of any meeting. Stop dragging my name into your desperate political scripts and peddling outright falsehoods. So, as I said, this is the narrative of someone who was in ZANU PF. But according to Zim Live, Nelson Chamisa and the thugs actually of ZANU PF came with a Wonder Fit and they began to assault everybody, including the leader of the party, Nelson Chamisa. But now, where I'm asking myself question is that Nelson Chamisa appears to have given instructions to those who were there, not to any media publication, leading to speculations. I think if there is such violence, it should be confronted head on and it should be spoken without actually fear or favor, so that things are corrected. Otherwise, if ZANU PF is left to do such, and we know that it cannot be reported in police, but it's very necessary to be publicized that there was such orchestrated violence by the desperate regime of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. It is equally true that Mnangagwa is desperate, We've got the 31st of July. There is the deafening silence of retired generals in terms of action. They're just commenting that Chiwenga's time is on the horizon, and that may be giving Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa sleepless nights. I can attest to you that the 31st of July is definitely giving him sleepless nights. You can see his lieutenants are up in arms pretending to be doing something that will quell the tensions. Zimbabweans, in their overwhelming majority, they are saying enough is enough with this Cap 3. And will Zimbabwe do what the Kenyans did? I remember at 1 year, the Kenyans reversed the law that was already signed. Was it signed? And the then president of Kenya had to backtrack because Kenyans were determined to stop everything in that particular country. Are Zimbabweans ready for this much needed fight on the 31st of July? You have got to fight in order for the country to be free. There is absolutely no other way. There are no shortcuts actually reclaim their power back. The mind-boggling question is, are they ready to reclaim their power back? But you can see ZANU PF is in a panic mode. It's afraid of you. It's afraid of the people. That is why you see these sideshows on Nelson Chamisa. I mean, everybody should move in any part of the country, meet with his own lieutenants without violence. Violence should be condemned at all costs. That is not to say that Nelson Chamisa may be perfect on this matter. Even if it's an internal violence, it should be condemned. That's not how politics is built. Toxic politics should be defeated. I think Zimbabweans, above any other thing, they are tired of toxicity. We need to deal with the enemy. The enemy at this point in time is ZANU PF, and people should not be deflected. People should focus on the enemy. It is Cap 3. It is the ZANU PF of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. It is Ziganandas. Definitely they deserve, and they must, I must emphatically say this, deserve to fall. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Okancubu Mhlabane is signing off. Love and leave you. Let's meet on